Welcome back to Texas Border Watch, your eyes on the front line for all things border security, local policy, and immigration. I'm Jordan Elder. The border wall is soon going to get a new look. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem recently announced that the entire border wall is going to be painted black at President Trump's request. And she says this is for two reasons. The first one being that the black paint could help keep the wall from rusting over, and hopefully the black paint will make the wall heat up. She says in the sun, this could deter people from trying to climb over the wall, go through it, or try to get underneath it. So here's a piece of that announcement.
Now, if you look at the structure that's behind me, it's tall, which makes it very, very difficult to climb, almost impossible. It also goes deep into the ground, which would make it very difficult, if not impossible, to dig under. And today, we are also going to be painting it black. That is specifically at the request of the president, who understands that in the hot temperatures down here, when something is painted black, it gets even warmer, and it will make it even harder for people to climb. So we are going to be painting the entire southern border wall black to make sure that we encourage individuals to not come into our country illegally, to not break our federal laws, but that they will abide and come to our country the right way so that they can stay and have the opportunity to become United States citizens and pursue the American dream. Now, we got an incredible amount of resources allocated to us in the big, beautiful bill, and we're so thankful for that because that's going to allow us to continue construction. The construction right now is at the pace of a little bit less than a half a mile a day, and the border wall will look very different based on the topography and the geography of where it is built.
Border Patrol Chief Mike Banks was also on site for this announcement, and here's his perspective on this project.
Once we get the infrastructure up, we'll also see lighting go up, camera systems go up, ground sensing technology as well. And then, as the Secretary said, we're going to paint it black for two reasons. One, the black's going to protect the wall from rusting, and two, black gets hotter and makes it more difficult to climb.
This project hasn't been fully contracted out yet. We sent Customs and Border Protection several questions about this project, such as, is there money already allocated for it, or are they going to have to get that money from somewhere else? The congressional spending package does put billions of dollars toward the border wall, but it's unclear if the painting could be included. We also asked if there's a total cost estimate and who is going to be responsible for painting it. There are critics wondering if this is actually going to slow down illegal immigration and what the administration is going to use as kind of their benchmark for success on this. We have seen video of coyotes and cartel members taking ladders and putting them up over the border wall so they don't really have to touch it until they come down on the other side. Critics have also said that bad actors could also wait until nightfall when the bars won't be as hot anymore. And again, keep in mind, the illegal immigration right now at the southern border of people trying to get over the wall has dropped drastically. So some critics are also asking, why do this now? We know that the president brought this up in his first administration as well, but obviously the project did not move forward. So we are keeping an eye on this for you. Some more news on the border wall for you. DHS has announced that 5 miles of border wall is going to be installed in South Texas, and they have used a waiver to fast track that process. Essentially, issuing this waiver means the wall can be built faster and it won't have some of the regular legal requirements as the regular process would have. This is actually the 7th waiver issued for border barrier projects. This 5 miles will be installed in Starr and Hidalgo counties in deep South Texas. Right now, CBP says about 100 miles of border wall are in various stages of construction all along the southern border. Last month, conservation groups actually sued the Trump administration over these waivers in Arizona. They say the wall would block migration for animals like jaguars and ocelots, as well as black bears and mountain lions. Other administrations, including the Biden administration, have used these waivers, and groups fought back against them too. The conservation groups say they expect these waivers and the wall building to continue, especially with those billions of dollars put toward it in the congressional spending package. The Department of Justice is seeing a big shakeup in immigration judges. These are the people that migrants would go before when they're making their claim to stay here in the United States. It's part of due process. But we know that more than 100 immigration judges were either fired or they left their positions, and there were about 700 total across the nation. So losing 100 of those is a pretty big chunk. But the Department of Justice, as they try to fill those positions, is going a little bit of a different route now. The DOJ says that temporary immigration judges will no longer need to have experience in immigration law. So here's part of that new rule in the Federal Register. Quote, immigration law experience is not always a strong predictor of success as an immigration judge, and EOIR has hired individuals from other federal agencies and department components without prior immigration experience who have become successful and exemplary. Before this, temporary immigration judges had to be former appellate immigration judges, Executive Office for Immigration Review administrative law judges, or attorneys with more than 10 years of experience in immigration law. And the big reason why this is important, there are currently 3.7 million immigration cases sitting in a backlog right now. So the Department of Justice says they need to get people in those positions to start wearing down on that backlog and getting some of those cases closed out. That's all for this week's Texas Border Watch. You can read more in depth on any of these stories over on our websites, news4sanantonio.com and foxsanantonio.com. We'll see you next week.